I am live. Hi, everybody. If you're wandering the internet and you stumble across this recording, you should know it's part of the DenverGuitarOrchestra.com's daily broadcast, and that the actual lesson will start in about 4 minutes. So you should feel free to fast forward to there. And if you don't fast forward and you're just delighted to listen to a goofy old man post the link to this broadcast on our website. Um, Background is where it's the DenverGuitarOrchestra.com is the website where we post all of our resources, and I broadcast daily every weekday from the beautiful and historic Grant Avenue Theater in downtown Denver. And we have 3 levels in the program. Level 1 is for brand new players who are learning to play melody and chords, 4 chords, and the process of reading tablature. They learn how to tune the guitar, hold the guitar, all that stuff that guitar players don't learn and then make end up looking really goofy. Then level 2 is more melody, more chords, and we begin to combine chord and melody together in what I call tough uke. It's sort of a modified fingerstyle version. Then at level 3, it is as many chords as necessary. Whatever the melody is, it is, and we combine chord and melody, and so that's where we really dig into fingerstyle play. We also begin work on arpeggios seriously on level 3, which then becomes, of course, full fingerstyle at level 4. And so we do level 4 on Monday, we do level 3 on Tuesday, level 2 today on Wednesdays, and level 1 on Thursdays. Thursday night, we have a one song concert. This week we are working on Hotel California, so we will be, it's a long song, it's 9 pages long, so we'll probably cover that over a 2-week period rather than trying to conquer it all in one night. And then on Friday, we play all the songs of the week. So feel free to subscribe, and you can keep up with what I'm doing live. If you don't want to subscribe, that's perfectly fine. Just come by the page once in a while, and you can watch all of our recorded videos. On YouTube, it's interesting. You just click on my channel and then videos, and then all of the live sessions show up on that page in the order that they were done. And of course, I'm keeping archives of those on DenverGuitarOrchestra.com. I have an archive page so that if you want to follow through the lessons in some sort of systematic order, they're actually posted in calendar order there, and it should make it easier for you to find. Next thing, if you are hanging out up here in the widget, welcome, glad you're here. If you log into Google or log into YouTube, you can then use the chat box over here, and as Elizabeth has just done, and say hi and let me know how things are going for you. I always like to hear from you guys. Elizabeth says the sound is good, so we're going to keep moving forward. That's always my I kind of hold off on getting started on a lesson until somebody says, "Yep, sounds good." I got a brand new desk in the office here, and it's really nice. And suddenly I don't have 800 things underneath my feet. I've got the microphone setup is a little bit different, and so I was hoping that I sounded fine, and the speakers are finally up where speakers are supposed to be, near my ears instead of down near my feet. Printer no longer on the ground, it's up on here. I feel like I'm really legit. I feel like a broadcaster here. So as soon as I end up feeling like a guitarist, then we'll really have gotten some work done. So let's pull up. Today is level 2. The song is Down in the Valley. This is not a song that most people are dying to play, but it has a lot of important skills that I think are going to work for you as you work your way into songs that are more interesting and probably more to your liking. And More principally here is that we're going to be talking about the C chord a lot, which is not a level 1 chord, it's a level 2 chord. Obviously quite a bit more difficult to get this on than say an E chord or an A chord or even a D chord, which these are all pretty compact. G chord gets a little gangly at level 1, and then level 2 we actually dive into C chord, right? And so it's going to be stretched out there, a little bit harder chord to do than the other ones, and so that's an excellent place to begin that study and get where you're comfortable getting with from C to its good buddy G and back. We'll talk about the various fingering choices you have with those. Elizabeth says my computer goes in again tomorrow. Oh, your email was hacked. Oh no. Oof. That's a bummer, Elizabeth. You know, it's interesting. Over the years, I've had a number of friends who've had their email hacked, and to this day, I get spam messages from one of them that she changed the account years ago. But what I think they did is they got into her account, downloaded all of her contacts, and then they've been emailing me religiously for years and years and years. And I think from what appears to be her email address. So, yeah, it can happen to the best of us, you know, and it's disappointing, but what are you going to do? Goodness sakes, change your password, hope for the best, and move forward. Okay, Down in the Valley. 2-page song, old spiritual song. I have it listed as a cowboy song. Um, and I think the interesting thing about it is that quite clearly the lyrics make it clear that a lot of people have been contributing to this thing, and because the lyrics don't really make any sense. And so it's one of those songs where you want to work on the melody, work on the chords, work on putting those together. But in terms of having a song that makes any sense, it's probably ready for a rewrite. It's probably ready for somebody to take this melody, like Elvis would have done, take the melody, take the chords, throw out the words, put something romantic and sweet and kind in there, because it's about a guy getting thrown in jail, is what it appears to be. At least the third verse is, and so the thing as a whole, the lyrics are a bit of a mess, and so. In my level 2 book, one of the things I do on every single song, I encourage my students to go through and rewrite the words. Okay, I think rewriting words to songs that already exist really helps you understand how rhythm works. It helps you understand rhyming, helps you understand the note values of stuff, syllabification, how syllables divide up into a song. All of that stuff is valuable information as a composer, and especially as a lyricist. And I think that activity done, you know, a half a dozen times or 20 times, as the book asks you to do, will helps you understand what music composers face and how to adjust your message, the message you want to send, in a way that it fits the melody and the lyrics and the rhythm and all this stuff. And so that's what's going on with this song in terms of just background story. 2 chords that you're going to need. You need this chord, C chord. I'm looking at this going, this seems incorrect. And that's because I pulled up the ukulele version. Let me pull up the version that we want to work on. Like that doesn't look right. Here we go. There we go. All right, C chord, index finger here, 2nd string, 1st fret, middle finger, 4th string, 2nd fret, and ring finger, 5th string, 3rd fret. Okay, you can hit the top string if you want, but you don't want. You want to hit 5 down. Your other chord is a G chord. Now on your paperwork, I put the fancy G chord, which is index finger here, middle finger here, ring finger there, and pinky finger there. Okay, so 2 fingers here, middle and index. That's what we want. Okay, that's what I wrote in the paper. There are several methods of getting a G chord on. Okay, let's talk about them now. Index and middle usually just has a ring finger right here. I'm trying to get you some light in there so you can see. Okay, so usually you put your ring finger first string, third fret. But when you want to make it sound fancier with a little bit more energy, you do what the paperwork says here, which is index finger, ring finger up one string and then add your pinky finger. Get a little bit higher, more pop on these higher strings, a little bit more gusto to them. Sounds nice. Okay. The other G chord you're going to find out there, and this, when you play in the key of C, actually makes some sense. Middle finger on 5, ring finger on the 6th string, and then pinky finger down on the 1st string. Okay. And the reason that we do this sometimes is when we're in the key of C, your C chord is much easier to get to, because now I can put my index finger where that goes and just drop these two each a string, and I have my chord. Okay, so the C chord, G chord, C chord, G chord. Okay. Now, I personally don't like playing that way. I don't find that I have enough control over this to make this pleasant, so I don't do that. But most folk music players will learn that system. So then, and it turns out what's really fun about that is you take these two down, two more, and just lay this out to cover strings 1 and 2, and now you have an F chord. Okay. So that way, these two guys are just going up and down, doing their job. They don't have to ever change. And then you just have to make sure to adjust whatever you need to with your index finger. So G chord, C chord, F chord, back to C chord, back to G chord, wrap up on C. Okay. So that's when you're talking about G shape, you've got a lot of options on here. On the singing side of things, the lyric chords and lyrics line, I'm giving you this G chord. The other one that is going to come up in this is you do have G7 sneaking around in here. Now, I treated it as a 2-chord song because Gs and G7s are so closely related, but it almost feels like on guitar that that's a whole different chord. Okay, index finger on the 1st string, middle and ring up where on the top 5 and 6. Quite a different sound, much more harsh sound. The G7 wants to become a C, so 7th chords need to be resolved, and that's what's going on here. So you've got G's, G7s, which will cause us to have to think through some of the ways we play things, and then C's, of course, C's, G's, and G7. So let's sing it real quick. Just one verse. I can't sing it all, but we do that just so that we make sure we understand how the song is going to go. From the top, get your C chord ready. If you are newer, just a beautiful down strum is fine. Okay. Otherwise, if you're thinking, hey, I want to get to be a real true fingerstyle player, I want to get comfortable doing plucking, you're going to do thumb, index, middle, ring, probably the middle strings, maybe the lower strings. Any of those, okay, will work. All right. There is no chord in measure 1 on purpose. You're supposed to sing it. When you're singing without chords, not a bad idea to help yourself with what's my initial tone. Down, 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 down in the. So give yourself a chance as a singer to double check which sound you're supposed to have coming out of your face. Down, and then you don't necessarily need the chord. Down in the valley, lead to valley so low. 1, 2, 3. Hang your head over. Hear the wind blow. 3, 1, 2, 3. Hear the wind blow, dear. So going from G, or this G, to G7 is a whole lot of motion, not great. Sometimes having to come back from that. Whole lot of activity going on over here. Maybe better off in this song like this when you have G's and G7s to be using this G chord, so that it's easier to get to G7 and back. Now I won't probably be doing that because I don't ever feel comfortable doing that. It's more of a singer folk music type thing that's useful for, but it's definitely a skill set to work on and see if it's for you. Measures 22, 23, 24, I'm sorry, 23, 24, and 25 has a big all long note on there. So if you are singing it and you get to measure 23, hear the wind blow. So that's what it's the sheet music is telling you. Most people probably wouldn't do that, but that's what it's suggesting you do. For when you're playing chords, you just strum your way through there as if there's 3 beats in every measure. There are. And then in this song, you're going to play it through 3 times. Each time you hit that repeat at the end of 24, it sends you back to the beginning of the song. Play the song 3 times. You got 3 sets of lyrics. Everything lines up pretty nicely. Okay, that's the chords. If you are working on next level playing, you would be thinking about the arpeggios. And I wrote an arpeggio out down below. It may or may not be for your style, but it's worth noting that in this case, I set the arpeggio up to be on the lower strings rather than the higher strings, so that it would definitely come in underneath your buoys. Sorry, I got the yawns. Let's pick through that just a little bit and try it. So I'm holding the C chord and playing thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle. The whole song, I'm going to keep that steady pace. First note is down, 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 down. 1, 2, 3. Down in the valley so low. Hang your head over. Hear the wind blow. Hear the wind blow, dear. Hear the wind blow. Late in the evening, hear the wind blow. That's the arpeggio picking. Same chords, same singing, same everything. The only difference is that instead of strumming, we are plucking, and we get to choose which strings we pluck when we're just holding the chord. We can. Now in this case, I wrote it out where you pluck the lower ones, but I could have written it out where we have the upper ones. You're going to mess around with a song until you find the best solution for you and your style of playing. Next, what we work on in this program all the time, melody playing. We got a lot of 1s, a lot of 3s, and if I remember right, that's all we got. Okay, so you're going to be in first position. 1s are with your index finger, 3s are with your ring finger. There won't be anything else other than that. Let's give it a try. Make sure you hit the right string is the only hard part. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 3, oh, rest, rest. 1, rest, rest. Oh, 3, 1, 3, prep, prep. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 3, oh, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 3, oh, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 3, 1, 2, top. 1, 3, 0, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 0, 0, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 0, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 3, 0, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 0, 0, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 0, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's finish there. 1. Okay, so that big long note, we don't do anything, we just hold it while we're busy waiting for the band to finish up their work. So that's lead guitar. When you are playing the melody, that's where the money is, that's where the fame is. That's playing the melody on a guitar has been pretty good for a few people. Okay, Led Zeppelin's Jimmy Page, Carlos Santana, Eric Clapton, all those guys, they do okay. Okay, that's the guy, you know their name. There's another guitarist in the band. He's a rhythm guitarist, and we don't know who his name is. A lot of times, it's a session guitarist. All right, so that's playing melody, playing chords. If you have a friend who has a guitar, you can play melody, and they can play chords, or vice versa, and you have a great time. So that's a third way of playing with just those two lines. We add in an arpeggio. If you're on chords, you add in an arpeggio. You got a fourth or fifth way of playing things. Okay. Last way we play this song is with the Tough Axe. We're going to play the whole thing 3 times. I want to walk through it 1 time, and then we'll play it 3 times through. Okay. So you're in fingerstyle. We always grab this chord first. Okay. So grab your C chord. Now you'll have 2 of these notes already present, held correctly. So the first note is a 0, and then the 1, and then you got a 3. So you need your pinky to get that 3. And you're going to take off your pinky and strum the C chord. Hit the 2. Those are in there just, oh, I'm sorry, I still have the yawns. That's just, those are just there for decoration. And you don't have to necessarily hit 2 and O. You could hit O and 1, O and O, 2, whatever chords, whatever strings happen to be available at that time, you can hit those. Then measure 3 is strum, O, 2, and then another full strum. Pinky on 3, index on 1, switch to your G chord, ring finger on the 2nd string. And then I just put in O, O, 3, O, O. I'm going to have a G chord, but just 4 strings. Open. G7, 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, 1. Back to your G. G chord. C chord. And we're going to start the same idea again. O, 1, 3, C chord. Page 2, C chord again. O, 2, strum, 3, 1, G chord. O, 3, O, partial G chord. O, 3, G7. O, regular G. Opens 1, 3, and then C chord. And then we're going to repeat. Okay, so we're going to be playing that. That whole idea there is a pretty high likelihood of hitting the wrong strings over here, because it really is all over the place, which is a hallmark of a nice melody, is that you're at a little bit of a risk to hit the wrong strings because it's bouncing around using so many strings. Okay, let's give it a try from the top. We'll play it 3 times through. Maybe by the 3rd time, I'll have it perfect and you'll have it perfect. My Starbucks in me. 1, 2, 3. Last time through. That's it. Down in the belly. Any luck that's making sense to you? Hopefully. Elizabeth, thanks for being here. If you're hanging out in the widget up here, thanks for being here. Hopefully that's making some sense to you. Another one of these great songs that's meant to be played kind of slow, give you a chance to get as pretty a tonality out of your guitar as possible. And that's it. So I will see some of you guys tomorrow during the day. We're going to be doing, what are we doing on during the day tomorrow? Tomorrow is Farmer in the Dell Day, the dumbest song in the entire program. There's no question. It's my least favorite, but it gets you a chance to start figuring out what tough Tough Axe is. It gives you your first opportunity to hold a chord and play a melody. And so Farmer in the Dell is for those of you that are looking to get started in fingerstyle guitar. Farmer in the Dell is a great piece to get going. Just kind of a dumb words. 8 or 10 times round, over and over and over. And then Thursday night, tomorrow night, we'll have our first crack at playing Hotel California. Is that with all the level 4 players? They are, for the most part, better players than I am. And so we'll get a chance to see how they're coming along on that piece of music. And then I will see, and then on Friday, we play the whole week's worth of songs all at once and see how we do. So, Elizabeth, thank you for being here. I hope you get that email fixed. That's a bummer. And whoever else is hanging out up here in the widgets, say have a wonderful night. I'm going to end the stream and be good and stay out of trouble. Have a great night, you guys.